had last left it off, the party returned to the Fey Realm, Celebrimbor in tow. A month had passed. They swiftly returned to Path of Ellen. Met some people that were quite surprised to see them back. Believed they had been captured or gone missing. Made your way back to your home base, chat with Loic, and he brought dire news. The international communities outside of Windwood have formed another coalition 30 years ago. Time to box Windwood in to prevent your civil war from spilling out, and in the event, if the threat of demons was around, they would be ready. King Turiel has apparently placated them for now and made you guys out to be the bad guys. Even worse news, Fididerza was completely under attack now, and they were in dire straits. Korgrin elected to leave the party, go defend his homeland. Whereas the
never liked him anyway.
Whereas the party, that they, in order to save Fididerza, they had to get the frontier in tow. Korgrin met with Sane, the casting sending, told him of his problems. Together, he, Sane, coerced Ophelia to transport them immediately to Fididerza. That was where we left it off. Just need a drink, so I'll be right back.
Well, sure, I'm glad that Korgrin's gone. Did nothing but moan. Don't kill that person, don't rob that person. It's just nothing but nag, nag, nag. Thank God we're shot of him.
I don't know if you're trying to get a rise out of me, but you're not going to. I'm not.
Well, obviously not. You're not Korgrin.
I'm not Korgrin anymore.
Korgrin.
No.
I wasn't expecting you to be here, Zach.
Yeah, I thought I'd turn up. I'm still going to watch.
Ah, cool. That's
Still
good.
a social thing.
Keep get like Moradin's watchful eye to make sure we're not doing too much nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
just like
Korgrin's there in spirit.
Using your last 5th level slot to cast Healing Word at 5th level and stuff like that. Yeah.
So,
Or mass healing word.
you are all currently inside your home base. Word swiftly comes back, however, that Korgrin was seen leaving the dome with Zane and Ophelia returning alone. Some questions. Ophelia admitted that she sent both of them to Fididerza. And that report has just come to you.
Can't believe he didn't even say bye. But I'm sure Fididerza will stand a much better chance of holding out till we can get to them with help. With some crazy-ass dwarf swinging his hammer about.
Well, to be honest, I think there was no chance he was gonna let Fididerza sink. And I mean, we have to get the frontier. So he knew what was right. I just didn't expect him to just up and leave without saying anything. Don't know. Maybe we could have seen his point of view, but
I'm sure we'd have gone with him, but that may have cost us the war, so maybe it's best that he's gone on his own.
Is his he has his homing beacon. Was it in the house or was it in the? I think it was in the.
His homing beacon.
Yeah, he had like.
He had a little teleporty thing. It was something that he left here, so that he could always return.
Oh, that's his
word of recall.
Word of recall thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a spell, right?
It's
tied to an object. Yeah.
It's still a teleport, so it has to be outside of the dome. So it's where the teleport circle is, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
It's
So
a
he can come
little
back whenever he wants.
stone statue of Moradin.
We know that. We've used it multiple times. We know exactly what it was.
I just thought it was a little Korgrin.
Loic has told you that he has been able to send word to the leaders of the frontier to expect your presence, and they were quite. The response to the whole invitation, or like, can we come see you sort of thing, was quite welcoming and warm. So he suspects that the frontier is going to be a nice place for you, or they're not going to reject you or anything like that. He does have a what's the word? A sigil address. That's the one.
Yeah.
A sigil address for a teleportation circle in the frontier, in something called the House of Cleansing.
The House of Cleansing. That sounds like a happy place.
Is this like is this a well-known point that we go to, or is this like the fucking cathedral back in Brine where we scared the shit out of people again?
He's not too sure. He didn't ask too many questions because the individual he acquired this information from sus. But it has been confirmed that it has been confirmed that the individual is real and it does go to the frontier.
Okie doke. Well, I suppose we just need to gather up our things and get moving. The quicker we can get these guys on board, the quicker we can get down to helping Mr. Korgrin.
Shit. Didn't really want to do this without him, but
I mean, what did he really do anyway? See, the tumbleweed said all.
So I'm going to assume
I've killed Elle.
Verity will teleportation circle.
Yeah. We'll make our way to the one outside the dome and we'll dial it up.
Now, obviously, those of you who have been to the frontier before know just how bad the landscape is. Is there anything you guys want to prepare before going to that kind of environment?
All of the water.
Alright. How much water are we talking?
Meg has a magical jug of liquidiness, which, as long as she doesn't get turned into a fucking puddle again, we'll solve that. Well, won't solve it, but I'll still recommend we take at least like 2 or 3 water bottles each, because we could be stuck out there for a little while and there's not an abundance of water in the desert, strangely enough.
Okay. Alright, so your temperature it requires, basically, survival-wise, you'll need to consume on a normal adventurer, a party would consume 1 water skin of water a day. You could ration that to half a water skin a day with constitution checks. In the frontier, you'll need to start making constitution checks consume less than 2 water skins of water a day. So basically, two water skins of water will keep you hydrated and okay, basically.
Okay, so I think if we each carry 3 with Meg's alchemical jug, which can do us 8 gallons a day, if it needs to. Or if we've had a good day, it can make us beer.
Yeah, I believe 8 gallons would be enough. I'm just checking how much of water skin actually holds.
I would imagine a litre.
A gallon's a lot.
Pints of liquid. So, how many pints go into a gallon?
It's like 10 pints in a gallon or something.
I think it's 8, but I'm not entirely sure because that's old money.
How many pints?
9.6.
So 1 gallon equals 9 pints.
Yeah, so if we
So
can do
that-
8 gallons a day, we've definitely got enough water, but we make sure we've got water skins just in case we get separated or in case Meg gets turned into a pug. Well,
That's
like,
right.
not Meg.
Yeah,
Harry gets turned into a pug.
that's a very real possibility with sandstorms and such like that. So,
Is there any way that we can... Is there any kind of gear that we could get that would help us against heat or something?
yes,
Or-
you can
Stylish
acquire.
sun hat.
You can acquire sun blocking, or kind of airy, more airlocked, like permitted gloves. Anything that sort of reflects the sun off of you, like your skin from burning. Something that's sort of more airy, so you get less stuffy and such like that. Anything that gives you shade is very helpful.
Can I buy an umbrella?
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a
Yeah.
foldable boat somewhere. Can we just like get our boat in the middle of the desert and just like take cover underneath it?
We do have a foldable boat.
I'll just get a little parasol, one with the kind of lace around it.
Yeah.
Very fetching.
That's
It will
fine.
definitely suit you, Russ.
Yeah. Call it a copper, and you can get one. Sure. Copper for a
All right.
parasol.
All right, I'll
mini
do that.
parasol. Okay, so beyond water and just more appropriate clothing, basically it's more of a creative exercise, really. What do you think would help you guys? Basically anything that you can suggest that would reasonably work, that would reduce
Ooh.
the mental DCs I assign for constitution checks and stuff.
So one thing I do think of is that, a problem is like levels of exhaustion and also probably more minor kind of stuff that is solved by lesser or greater restoration. So maybe some spell scrolls for that would be an idea, just so that I'm not blasting all my slots on that.
Unfortunately, there are no spell scrolls of greater restoration available in Path of Ellen.
That's fine.
Korgrin could make one for you, but it will take a while, I think.
Yeah.
It's
That's
also
okay.
possible we could find some in the frontier. It seemed to be like a proper little settlement town thing they've got going on. They might have somewhere you can buy them. I don't know,
Well,
but it's possible.
Make a group history check. Just sort of try and record what information you do know about the frontier. Pretty good. Not so good.
I mean,
Rennas, so
I only get a
you know
plus
the
1.
frontier's
That's fine.
hot. Yeah. So, Rennas, you know the frontier's hot.
It is.
Russ and Otti, you know that the frontier was occupied the longest by Argoness forces in the war. They've never really recovered from that. There was some restoration efforts that was happening back in the day with King Umar, but it's kind of not much has happened since King Tyrael took count. Beyond that, you don't really know much else of the frontier. Apart from they're just kind of they're not. It's a city of ruined cities, shall we say? A historic city.
Okay, well, I've got 2 backpacks. So on the table, I'm going to put out the 2 backpacks that are in the bag. I've got 2 torches, so I'm going to put a torch in each. I hope someone's making a note of this, because I'm not making a note of this because I'm speaking.
No. What are we doing? Can you say it again?
So I've got
I'll
2
make a note of it.
backpacks
Mhm.
on the table. There's a torch in each of the backpacks. I've got a scroll of healing word, cantrip, and a scroll of cone of frost. My thinking is that maybe something cold nearby might cool us down if we need it. For example,
I like
cone of frost.
Just blast the sand and make it all cold. Like, quick, roll around!
Yeah, it will be a temporary thing, but like if we need to sit up for a little while or have a rest, we could do that nearby.
Could have got like a 4th level spell or something where you just get to cool down in the heat.
It's a 5th level, yep.
I want to use chill touch to. I know it's necromancy, but I want to just wave the cold hand around. You know, just kind of.
It's a necromancy one. I did think about that one. But I've got Ray of Frost, and we got the Cone of.
Yeah.
I think it's Cone of Cold actually, rather than Cone of Frost. But
you're quite powerful at the moment, so I'd say normally a ray of frost in that kind of heat would basically just be like cold air blowing. You can create like a small, if you're going to utilize it in such a way, you create like a small little popsicle that you could use to sort of like, oh, that feels good, before it melts away.
It's a perfect use of a 5th level spell.
No, I'm just talking about not
cantrip.
Oh, is that Ray of Frost? Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Ray of Frost, yeah, Ray of Frost, yeah.
Okay.
Well, then I'm going to put the cold resistant potion with the scroll of Cone of Cold, just in case someone screws up.
What do we need to do to take the desert with us? A cold resistance potion.
Got nothing else. Like heat. I don't have any.
Brilliant. They'll never expect it.
I've also got a fire
expects cold damage in the desert.
Exactly. I've got a fire resistant potion as well, so I'll put that on the table, and I'll be like,
yeah.
If anyone wants to take a bag and take some stuff, I've got some rations. I've got about 15 rations in the bag.
I can happily carry a bag.
Yeah. You can see rations as normal until it's mainly just the water skins that will be doubled up in your time in the frontier.
Not sure how D&D this is, but I would like to suggest some kind of eyewear, because I feel it would protect against like headaches and just feeling shitty. I feel it would protect against sandstorms getting in your eyes to reduce visibility and stuff. And also if like some of us started tripping and seeing things, so I don't know. I just feel eye protection would be a good idea.
Well, Verity wears glasses, and I'm fairly certain at this point she'd probably do some kind of minor illusion to make them sunglasses.
I have glasses of charming, or eyes of charming, which are little glasses I can wear, and we can get some fabric and just tape it over the glass, and then sunglasses.
Cool.
And we've also got the Helm of Comprehend Languages as well, which I'm sure someone can take if they're really, really struggling.
Yeah.
A big metal helmet in the desert. Oh, please.
I didn't think it was metal.
Is it not? It's a helm. Aren't all helms metal?
Some are leather.
Okay.
But the Helm of Comprehend Languages is a metal.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it. I would like to purchase some helmet of some kind for me, because I want to look cool as well.
Well, what kind of helm are you looking for?
Well, ideally non-metal, I guess, but just something that'll protect my head, and that has a little eye thing that I can.
Roll a D4 for me.
Going with a Halloween mask.
We're going to the desert. I'm not mad if I have to wear a Halloween mask.
So Pathfinder is a little bit limited beyond non-metallic helms for protection and stuff like that. You find something is quite akin to a conquistador hat.
Well, I need to Google that. Oh, I see. Cool. I'm gonna look funny.
Yeah. So it's not like not entirely metal. Like there are metal. There's like the metal overhang of it, but there's a leather trimming on the side of it.
Yeah. Hey, it's something.
Yeah. So yeah, you can get that one for call it 5 silver.
Okay.
Bargain.
For now, I'm putting negative money in my sheet. I have no idea. I need to look up the conversions because I only have gold pieces for now. Right, silver down.
10 silver makes a gold.
Okay, that's easy then.
Can we also get some like fabric? See if there's anyone that's got some spare fabric that we can wrap heads and hair in if we need to. Not necessarily
I was
hats,
thinking
but more.
headscarf. Yeah.
Might I make a suggestion of like a mouth mask, like a very thin linen scarf, just to stop sand getting in your mouth?
Oh, it's COVID all over again.
The desert's got COVID.
Ironically, OT, Brard from the Orcs would be able to help with that, as they're used to traveling around, living in various environments. And as such, they've got multiple items of clothing for the different climates that they've been in. So yeah, they'll be more than able to provide you with like sort of headscarves and like even face scarves to keep the dust out of your eyes and such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also take that to maybe, yeah, like you said, like to wrap as a scarf. I could also maybe, I don't know, fashion something with my little hat or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Hide your shame. Okay. So,
I'm not-
anything else you guys want to prepare before heading off?
Sure.
Who is the head divinator? Estuan. That's the one.
That's just one, yeah.
Might be worth popping in to see him just to see if he would have any ideas of how to locate a spawning pit. He is the diviner person. Maybe you can point us in the right direction or give us a hint or at least what we could look out for.
You want to head off and
I will,
speak
yes.
with him then, Rennas? Okay. Does anybody want to go with Rennas to speak with Vestron?
Verity probably would.
Okay. So, Rennas and Verity head out looking for Estuan. He usually hangs out in Cadaritius's like heart forest, but on this occasion, you'll find him in his own personal tent. And the first you see is that strange black cat that usually hangs around on his shoulder. It's outside his tent, just sort of sitting down, looking up to you with big yellow eyes.
Hiya, is Estuan in?
Wow.
Thank you. And I'll give him little squinches behind his ears if he lets me. Okay, I step back. Sorry.
Wow. You head inside, and you find Estuan. He's currently in the middle of a trance, like a meditative trance.
I'd give it like 30 seconds and then do like the polite cough.
When you do the polite cough, that's when he he shakes his head. His eyes gloss back over into colour. Ah.
I am very sorry. I did not mean to disturb you.
Please, may I be of assistance?
We are shortly off to the frontier to try and gain their support in this war of ours. We understand that they have been troubled by a spawning pit, so there are still demons being spawned somewhere in the frontier. I wondered if you had any idea of how we might go about locating them. Are there any spells you might know? Anything you could suggest?
Just having a look at his inventory or his paired spells to see if there is anything he can do to help. Okay, so he doesn't have the materials for this, but he tells you of a spell called Find the Path. It helps you basically know the exact location of where something is and how to get to it, or the most direct route to it. He does, however, tell you that if this spell was viable, then the Lost Pit probably would have been found already, as Find the Path is not that uncommon.
It's rare, but it's well known, so someone would have tried it by now. Understood.
Yeah. So the only other thing of if with your permission, he'll spend 10 minutes to cast Legend Lore.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
So he starts burning some incense inside his little hut tent sort of thing, which makes it really smoky in there. And you're like,
I back up to the corner and just sit down quietly, try not to cough, disturbing him.
Yeah. He places 4 ivory strips on the ground in the sigil that he makes around him. And he starts the casting process, which lasts about 10 minutes. His eyes gloss over, they glow yellow. And his hair just starts warping in on itself. It's quite weird, like it's... We've got to take a quick break there, guys. That's just so she needs some help, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. And George, it seems, has joined now, so we can maybe catch them up with what's happened.
Hey, George. Korgrin's abandoned us, but Zach's still here for some weird reason. He's a crazy stalker that we can't get rid of. We're gathering supplies for the desert. So basically, we've just got a bunch of water, and then Arri has the alchemical jug.
Yeah, we didn't start too long ago. It's basically Loic told us Korgrin left. We were like, okay, cool, let's go to the frontier. And then we were just trying to think of things to stop us dying in the desert. We got basic, like linen to protect us from the sun and extra water skins and some spells that Otti's putting in little bags. I got a cool hat and a parasol. And now you and Rennas have gone to see Estran. And he's suggesting spells, and also you're gonna cast teleport, apparently, or teleportation. Sorry, call it whatever.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that didn't happen yet, right? Yeah.
No, not yet. We're just packing up. I think seeing Estran and Otti's getting some headscarves and things from Grad, and then I think we'll be on our way.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
How was
sorry
your
for
walk
the
back?
delay, guys.
That's okay. I hope your journey home was okay.
So I was in London and I was getting the coach back, and it was supposed to arrive at 5:30, but I got in at 7, and I still had to walk, and it started raining, and I have no food, so I'm just feeling very pooey to myself right now.
Is there any way of ordering in food or something?
No, I'll be fine. I don't know. I just need to revive myself a bit.
Do you have any shit food, at least? Like a bunch of biscuits or pot noodles or something?
I can check the kitchen once I'm done.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I'm just feeling very because one bad thing happens and then another thing, and then by the end of it you're just like,
Well, we're glad you're here. And
yay for George!
Yay me!
Yeah. We need Verity. Korgrin's already fucked off, and Arri is under the weather today, so.
Yeah.
And Elle is dying next to me.
I'm dying.
I'm dying too early. Yeah.
My sub story was that it took me 4 hours to get to work yesterday, and it was horrible. It was long because no, the trains were cancelled. And then I was like, do I go anyway? So then I had to get the coach and all that. But yeah, that's why I can't stay past 11 or 10:30 or whatever. Is just that some days I have like 14-hour work days, and it's just no.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Oh, I thought Zach was doing a vlog for a bit. He's kind of holding the camera like.
Hey guys, this is Korgrin Bravebeard vlogging in. It is 22nd of March 2023.
I will not subscribe.
If you could like,
No.
comment, subscribe, hit that bell.
Oh, now I hate Korgrin again.
Yeah. Don't ever ask me to do that again.
I don't think I asked you this time.
Yeah, you did. Everyone heard it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Hi, Georgia. This is the part where we find out that Georgia's actually like stepped away for a moment, and I've just spoken into the fucking abyss.
Maybe.
Probably.
Pins.
They may have gone to find food.
You make it sound like they've got to fucking scavenge. And here we have the wild Georgia.
They
Did
said they
you,
didn't have
did
any
you
food.
hear them? It said like they did have to scavenge.
No, I was away. I was getting a coffee.
Yeah.
I heard nothing.
No, I don't know. I have headphones that I keep on and I can wander about the house. It's like magic.
I mean, yeah, but I have to go downstairs, so.
Yeah. Work
That
your wolf,
sounds like a
baby.
you problem,
Yes,
okay?
it is. I'm fully aware. Yes, that is the downside of having a second story to your house.
Try having 3.
No,
But we
thank
don't have to
you.
go to the top one anymore, so it's fine.
Yeah, we gave that to Kai. Kai's got the upstairs bedroom.
Kai gets a
Yeah.
nice big room, but she has to go up 2 flights of stairs. So.
Or you can live in a single 1-bed ground floor cave like me.
That sounds cheaper.
Yeah.
Except Wi-Fi didn't work in my kitchen, and I thought it was an issue with my kitchen. I was like, wow, maybe my kitchen's like a Faraday cage or something. Turns out, as soon as I switched internet provider, it was just Virgin Media that didn't work in my kitchen. So go figure.
Figures. We are getting new internet on the 30th, which is fiber. So I'm so happy. I can go from 70 meg to
Yeah.
fucking like 500.
Is it fiber to the house?
It is indeed.
See, we've just had notification that there's a Welsh internet provider called Otti, and they've finished work in my area, and they phoned me up earlier this week to say like, look, the fiber is done. You can switch over whenever you want. The first 6 months are free. Amazing. Downside is I'm in my contract with BT until July next year.
Yeah, I'm quite lucky. We were with Vodafone. It was
So-
literally due to expire in June. I think they're going to charge us like 20 quid to leave early. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm obviously looking at you've got to pay for the months remaining, minus the VAT, and apply a 1% discount.
Yeah.
So say 12 months remaining,
Mhm.
I've got about £300, £360, minus VAT, divide that by 6, so call it what, maybe
Can you not
50?
get fiber through whoever you're with now?
No, because Oggy are separate, so they don't use any of
Okay.
OpenReach.
Yeah, okie doke.
because their
back-
whole shtick is basically, sorry, Fiona.
that's okay.
Their whole shtick is we're giving you fiber to the door in places where OpenReach isn't or isn't planned to for several years. So,
Okay.
uh,
I mean,
No.
personally, I'd pay it and take the fiber, but that's just me.
yeah, I'm tempted
Yeah.
to. Go on,
I
Fiona.
was gonna say that I think another option for instead of ending your contract early is to just transfer it to someone else. So I was thinking of doing that because I just took out a 2-year contract with Vodafone because I presumably am going to move to a different city in Scotland, where my work actually is, so I don't have to travel. But because I have this flat that I own outright and that I don't need to, and yeah, selling it would be a bummer. I would to rent it out to someone, and then I could just transfer the internet to their name or have them pay it to me. But also, you can do it when you move and stuff like that. And I don't know if you can just like give your shitty internet to someone else, but it might be worth looking into the technicalities if that's possible. If someone wants to buy your contract off you or something.
Yeah, I doubt it, because the street is a new build street, albeit it's 7 years old. We're the most recent occupants, so we've probably got the newest of contracts kind of thing. So I'd
Yeah.
imagine everyone else has an established contract. That they
It doesn't
may
need to be your neighbors. I think it can literally be somewhere within the country or something.
not. Right.
I do apologise about that. A bit of a meltdown.
Interesting. Welcome back.
Sorry, my cat just ruined everything.
Very
He made my precious internet fall over.
George, are you about or are you just in?
Yes, George. Well, George got in. We briefed them, but they're scavenging for food and kind of recovering from their journey. So I don't know if they're currently here. Oh, is
They
that?
replied in chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so S1 was casting Legend.
He was indeed.
Right.
Lovely chap.
So after 10 minutes. So this is in regards to the lost pit of the old war. So his eyes come back into focus and he says, "This is tricky." The pit itself was created by the Black General Slitter.
Okay.
This pit was different from the other spawning pits. It has been greatly protected by magics, both foul and ancient. Location of which has been magically hidden. And only something akin to a tuning fork will reveal the path.
Is there any link between the tuning fork that you think would be able to find it and the tuning forks that like demons use to travel dimensions or something? It's all magic stuff. I don't really understand.
The tuning fork is the best example I can think of. It in itself is a unique item built specifically for the purpose of homing in on a location within this realm. It
Interesting.
itself, all of the pits that were built in the war would spawn demons And those demons would be under the sway of Argonef. But this one, it appears that it would be under the sway of Slitter himself. The details of why this is different have not been revealed to me.
Interesting.
All I know, or what I do know, is that the only individual who would know the location would be the Black General himself.
Surely he is long dead, is he not?
Yes, he died in the war.
Well, maybe we can. I sure wish we had a cleric round about now that could talk with dead.
Make a history check, Rennas, and Verity as well, because you're there as well. Rennas, you remember a brief history lesson from way, way long ago that when the Black General, now the Black General unfortunately is almost as feared as Argonef himself, but Slitter was at the forefront of the majority of fighting within the Windwood, and his name is synonymous with fear and brutality. And it was during one of these lessons, you were just more curious in how he died, and they would say he was slain when the frontier was liberated. However, unlike other demons who usually dissolve into ichor and goo when they die, his remains did not. As far as you can remember, they remained in the frontier.
Interesting.
Under lock and key.
Yeah, so someone should hopefully know where then. That sounds promising. Okay. Well, Estuan, honestly, thank you so much. You have been a great help. You've definitely given us some avenues to chase down.
I'm glad I can be of some assistance.
Your assistance is definitely grateful.
Good luck in the frontier.
Thank you. I'm sure we will need it. Good day to you. And I will head off.
Go.
Oh.
You go. Verity, what did you want to do before you does his thing? No. Do notice something about that cat though. I'm gonna message you something.
I'm going to miss True Sight.
There we go. So, Estuan goes on to say, before you go, Rennas.
Yes.
Everything alright?
Please.
You were there.
Underneath. I just thought, might as well try.
Wow. Not for dummies. They were all there, boss.
We're the dummies.
did you move them into the kitchen?
Not that I can recall, but.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Everyone says, Rennas, you
Yeah.
will find Verity in the swirl unknown.
We'll find clarity in the swirl of the unknown.
I see. There is pain. There is also love. A world of which beyond our seeing. A ghost clad of silver.
Do you speak of Loandir?
I do not know. All I know where the vortex lies. Find answers. Questions you never asked.
How mysteriously cryptic. But thank you.
I do apologize. Sometimes the omens and portents are not clear.
Understandable. But thank you for your help, and thank you for your assistance and casting that spell.
Good luck.
We will hopefully be back shortly with some new allies for the effort.
That, Verity and Rennas leave head designator Estuan and his black cat. Turn to the home base. The rest of the party is there waiting for you. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I will pass on all the information from Estuan, but I think we are all prepared now.
Okay. So, Verity, you've been given a set of sigils to a teleportation circle to a place in the frontier called the Cleansing House.
The guy got the coordinates from was Shifty, so who knows?
Yeah.
Could be a trap.
Loic got the coordinates from somebody who was, in his own words, sus.
No cap.
Well, I've just got to confirm every time, unfortunately. You'd be casting teleportation circle to get there.
Try not to burn down Parfidel while you do.
Yeah. I'm assuming.
Oh, no, they're gone.
We lost George.
Oh no. Oh no.
We found a George.
Uh,
We can hear you.
so I have a list of my circles here, and I have one for the frontier brackets tippers.
Yes. The frontier and the city, the frontier, named the same, but they are different places. You have the teleportation circle that goes out to where the tippers currently sort of hide out in the frontier landscape. The sigil you have been given is for a building inside the city of the frontier.
Well, okay. I mean, if you guys are okay with me using it, I can use it.
Yeah. It's the closest one. I mean, what's the worst case? We just appear in the middle of a cathedral and scare the shit out of everyone again. Wouldn't be the first time.
Also, you know how my sister, like Arri, was all like, I don't know whether Esteban's a psychic or the cat is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat's a dragon. Away we go! Whee!
And nothing bad happens today. Alright, so Verity once again casts Teleportation Circle. These sigils light up in a bluish light around her. And you are all yanked out of the air, sucked through a almost suffocating tunnel, tube, until you get out onto the other side and land on solid ground. A dark that only lights up from glows of the sigils that you had just activated where you are. There is a slight pause, darkness. You hear chatter coming from beyond the room itself. Now, the room you're in is a stone floor, kind of like orange concrete, sand-like stones. Four walls around you. There are no windows, but there is a singular door that is draped with like beads and velvet kind of like curtains and stuff like that, as well as an actual wooden door itself.
But there's no one else in here with us. That's
No.
okay. Approach the door and open it slowly so as not to startle someone on the other side.
The moment you do open that door, your nostrils are filled with the smell of very powerful perfume, incense. Like, imagine if somebody like just put on way too much cologne, effectively. Your eyes adjust, and you see a very, very large open area that is littered with pillows and kind of like almost like forts of like almost like small little hills of cushions. There are strange little orbs floating in the ceiling that give off this neon violet color. There is music coming from the corner. There is a small little band there that you see that are playing an assortment of stringed instruments that just give off that kind of like that high-pitched noise, like ring, 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 but it's rhythmic in a way. There are quite a few people here. Most of them are of sunburned skin. Their clothing attire are completely different from ones that you have seen. They've got like open-chested kind of areas, like very loose trousers, or like white baggy trousers and the like. A few of them wear turbans. Others are just wear shawls. Some of them are just all bareheaded a little bit. And you are easily accosted by an individual, a woman with long flowing black hair. She's got kind of like a face mask over, but it's sort of see-through, like with like jewels and kind of like a purple pinkish kind of fabric over her mouth. She's wearing a very, very revealing outfit. Mainly just sort of like very high, like pinky, purple kind of colours. And then like as soon as you like sort of lock eyes with her because she's literally just a few feet away from you. She goes, "Welcome to the House of Cleansing. We've been expecting a very important guest.
And here I am.
Come, let us ease your woes and your worries." And she beckons you forth.
I'll naively step forth.
Okay.
What could
So
possibly go wrong?
once you do, she takes your hand, she leads you out into this area, and now that you get a good full look at area, you can see the proper back rooms where there are quite a few girls dancing in various degrees of undress. On the other side, you can see closed off carpeted areas that you can see people being led into by various individuals, and they close the curtains behind them. This woman, as she's taking you out, she sort of waves over 4 more people, 2 very beautiful women and 2 very beautiful men. They immediately take you sort of side by side and they say, come, relax. We'll get you whatever you want. Would you like something to eat? Would you like something to drink? Or would you just like a massage?
I think we might have got the wrong end of the stick here. We just arrived. We were just trying to get to the frontier. This was the only teleportation circle we knew. I was under the impression this was some sort of religious institute.
I cover Verity's eyes.
One can find their God in the House of Cleansing. All it takes is just the right position.
And I may well take you up on that. But we do have a little bit of business to attend to first. Could you possibly direct us to the way out?
Of course. Find your way out, just past that door at the back, down the stairs. Are you sure we cannot tempt you? And she starts trailing her fingers up your hand and up your arm like this. In staying a little longer, surely on your travels,
Well,
must have acquired some stress.
I mean, you could definitely say that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and make an insight check, Verity. She's clearly pushing an agenda which will incur gold from Rennas.
It has been a very long, stressful life lately.
Come, sit down, and you can almost feel the 4 other people kind of almost push your shoulders into a cushion, where there is basically a set of smoking apparatuses, giving off that incense kind of smell, and they just breathing it in, it just kind of chills you out, immediately.
It's appreciated, and I will definitely come back. But at the moment, I'm afraid we do have some business.
Stay.
We really can't. The literal fate of the world depends on us.
Ooh. Biblical. Tell us more.
I will happily tell you all about it and more when I return.
So you squirm your way out of their advances and their holdings, and you quickly make your way towards the exit. I assume the rest of the party follows?
Yep, as fast as I can.
Yeah. You get some side eyes, you definitely get some looks. Otti, you do notice a very beautiful half-orc just give a wink in your direction. Hey, baby.
I'm even more covering Verity's eyes, fanning because Arri won't be able to reach Verity's eyes, but I'll do the honors and just cover her eyes.
I've got another
And we-
tusk you can ride.
That's revolting. Get out.
Okay, so you make your way across the room, down the steps, and then out into sort of a foyer-like area with red carpets. You can see that there are windows that point that like give off like an intense heat and intense sunlight from outside, and there is a set of double doors that once you go through them, you are immediately met with a blast of heat.
Horrible.
Scorching sun, dry air, the sounds of a city itself. In front of you, you can see basically a bazaar of quite gargantuan portions, like tents, shops set up in ring-like performances. See street performers doing fire breathing tricks and jugglers and the like. You can even see like sword swallowers and such. There's just an explosion, a multitude of colours in terms of the outfits here. The more peacocky are in that regard, it seems that the more respect that is given to you. Quite a diverse group of people here, like many humans, half-elves, a few elves, a few half-orcs, quite a few halflings and quite a few gnomes as well. And quite a number of dragonborn, like more dragonborn than you've seen previously. And as you sort of get your bearings in your surroundings, realise that you are in the city of the frontier. In the distance, you can see a gargantuan palace. Around you, like you can see often not too far to the west, there is a large body of water that reflects the sunlight. Talking around, just getting the lay of the land, talking around, you just realise that the further on the outskirts of the city it gets more condensed, whereas the closer to what is known as the Magnate's Temple, where the centre of authority lies within the frontier, it becomes more spacious and more kind of luxurious in that regard.
The poor people live far away from the temple.
You do clock, however, that the people here, they are overly polite and cautious. Like, they fully expect somebody to like backstab them at any point. Like, you can just see the air of I don't trust you, and you probably don't trust me. And this is a very common occurrence with pretty much everyone here. Whereas in other cities, you've seen sort of a sense of community, a sense of unity. That's missing in this place. Everyone is like they're excessively polite, but they're clearly keeping everyone at arm's length.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the Magnet Temple is where we should be heading. But while we're in the bazaar, did we want to look around, see if there was any scrolls that you were looking for, Russ? Anywhere? Look like they're selling magical scrolls?
I could do a quick look around, but I don't know if we should hurry.
Okay, we can come back.
I mean, if we see anything, like any kind of like obvious marketplace, like selling magic items or something, then
Scrolls,
sure.
rather.
Yeah. So
Make a quick perception check. You do not.
To the temple, then, I guess. Sure, we can just rock up and get an audience, right? That's how it works.
Okay. So you start making your way towards the gargantuan temple in the distance. It's clearly the most. It's like the most eye-grabbing thing in the place. Like it's built for dominance. It's built for power, intimidation, that sort of thing. Like showing the people who's the boss and who's in charge constantly. It does remind you somewhat of the Skyhold district and the palace in Jaroshukai. This one is older in that regard. But the Elves' architecture was old. This one, much, much older. Like, you can just see the decay in the rock.
Do I recognise it as belonging to any race or anything? So is it Elven, Dwarven? They're the only people I know that build things.
Make an intelligence check.
Ah, well, Rennas is super smart. No Rennas not smart.
It's just not something you know.
Fair enough.
So, as you progress through the streets, that air of, mistrust in the community is quite evident in every part of the city you go to. But everyone, well, not everyone, but most of the people who meet eye contact with you, they do somewhat recognize you. And they give you a very wide berth. Like, the moment they realize who you are, they like kind of immediately retreat down an alleyway and just head off.
Not exactly a great sign, but I'll just be offering friendly smiles to anyone that meets my eye for more than a millisecond.
Probably about 10 minutes into your walking, you are approached by a group of individuals. These guys, they have a strange get-up about them.
Hi there.
You can see that their faces are covered. They've got metal helms or helmets with a spike on top. They wear leather-based armor that is quite spacious and airy. They've got baggy sort of like sleeves and legs and they carry scimitars at their sides. Their leader sort of walks up to you, and as you say hi there to them, he looks you in the eye and says, "You are the ones at the vision. You are the ones that we've been made aware of. Guardians of the Forgotten." Yes.
That is us. Pleased to
That's
meet
correct.
Your arrival carries weight, speed of which we have never seen. The magnates, we would like to see you. We are of the Oasis Spears.
We would be honoured to see them.
Good. Please come with us.
Can I roll an
Okay.
insight just to see if they are random group of people who are going to try and take us alley and mug us, or if they're like an official guard, or what they up at?
I mean, if they start leading us anywhere but towards a temple, I might be a bit suspicious, but
You can't tell, Otti.
you're just too trusting.
Am I too trusting, or am I cautious about them?
You just don't know. You can't
Alright.
make of that as you will.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright. So as you're making your way through the streets following this half-dozen group of guards known as the Oasis Spears, they give you the rundown, and the guy who originally met with you, he says, "It is our understanding that you have never visited this city before. Is that correct?"
We have not. This is our first time.
Then there are things you must be made aware of. The city is multi-layered. You are currently in the above ground. It is known as the Magnate's Garden. We would recommend that you stay on this layer.
Is there another layer underground?
Yes, the sub-city. It is only half populated. It is known as the Red Rocks. There is violence down there. I would not recommend going.
Why is there violence? Is it just criminals? Is it people that can't afford to live up here?
I believe that is something you should discuss with the Magnate. I may give the wrong impression.
I mean, anything you say to me will stay between me.
Make a persuasion roll.
Do.
Oh, well, so long as it stays below the table. There is much violence down there because of the factions that fight. We try to keep order, but there are many gangs down there, and they fight There are many... He sort of almost whispers this. There are many cults down there. The cults fight each other. The cults fight the gangs. The gangs fight the cults. And the Oasis Spears fights them all.
Do you know who these cults worship?
Many different demons. I do not know who could be in them. I do not know if any member of my squad is a cultist. Anyone you speak to could be a member of this cult. Any cult.
Even you.
Not me. I do not believe in that filth. This demon worshipping has done nothing but bring woe to this city.
I agree. Hope we can do something to help that. But thank you very much for the information. I will keep it to ourselves.
Just so you know, should you ever find yourself down there, don't go any layer lower. If you find yourself in the final layer, you might not get out again. The Cradle of Sands. Ancient buildings, long forgotten, inhabit that layer, and is mainly abandoned because of the many monsters and traps that litter the streets and buildings.
Just out of character, I've never wanted to go anywhere more in my life.
The civilizations of old used to rule from that layer until the sands of time buried them, making way for the new layers.
Okay. We will do our best to avoid them, but we do not know where this adventure will take us yet.
Very good. So, yeah?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I must say this is not the image I'd made of the frontier. Surprised so far.
We are hardy, and we are used to hard living. The frontier has been the center of several civilizations in the past that have risen and fallen. The city is littered with old and new buildings, most of them in disrepair because of the brutality of the occupation 30 years ago. Some areas of the city, such as the ruined taints, are declared off limits because of the lingering demonic poisons and curses and the undead that roam it at night.
Sounds friendly.
Perfect time to get rid of the cleric.
Is there any formal greeting or anything we should use when meeting the magnates?
Just treat him with respect as you would an elder.
Certainly.
Any culture that this city once had has been stripped away from us. We are Windwardians.
I will file that one away.
Okay. So, you make your way out of the buildings and into a set of impressive-looking obelisks that kind of line the way up a huge set of stairs into the overpowering Magnate's temple. As you get up those stairs, the ones that have been escorting you, they leave you off there. Now, the temple itself is an impressive structure, clearly built for siege and intimidation. The exterior looks battered, and there are points in the temple where there's a pile of rubble where a tower or wall once was, clearly destroyed in like heavy fighting and just never got repaired.
So it looks great from a distance, but as you get closer, it's half falling down.
Yeah, basically.
Okie doke.
Is this old rubble or is this like Argoneth wartime rubble?
Mixed. There is a mixture there.
Okay.
As you get inside, there are attendants that were clearly made aware of you coming. There's at least a dozen of them that bow very low. And as you can see, a couple of helpers to sort of like throw out little rice grains to sort of like celebrate your arrival.
How fancy.
Now, the interior is much more comfortable and respectable. The white marble floors, velvet curtains, a wide selection of potted plants with sweet-smelling aromas like wafting through the air. The temperature is much more cool in here. An open airflow makes it like less sticky and more inviting. There are not many chairs, but plenty of cushions bundled in corners and alcoves with incense burning on small tables and what appears to be smoking hookah pipes available in like a select few of them.
Classy place.
The lead hour, the one who sort of steps forward, a bit of an elderly gentleman, clearly half elf, growing a fuzzled kind of beard, but it's greying on the sides. He says, "Welcome. The magnate is waiting for you in his quarters. I can only. We are welcoming you with utmost hospitality. If you need anything, please say it to us. We are at your disposal."
Thank you. We'll let you know if we think of anything.
Okay.
Thank you. For now, just to see the magnate, but we will.
Please, come. We shall go see him straight away.
Thank you.
Alright.
Okay.
So, as you go through these the halls, you start like making your way up them, and there are no stairs that you can see, but there are definitely like heavy inclines of ramps that go up and around. There are a few fountains and intricate water runways throughout the temple, but despite its aesthetic beauty, walking through these halls, you do feel a little off. Like there is something foul or sickening about the walls, or even the ground. Possibly even an evil presence.
Why is that bloody evil presences everywhere? Everywhere we go.
Are we
One
inside
who
trying to
is-
mimic or something?
The one who is leading you says, "Oh, yes, this place, the temple, it was the home of the enemy demon general Slitter. For many years, his demonic presence still infects the halls. But I assure you, get used to it.
Is his literal presence here? I heard his body was still out in the frontier.
Ah, I do not know. That is something maybe the magnate would know.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Only those really sensitive to demonic taint get sick from several days' exposure. I assure you, it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be, and most areas of the temple are accessible now due to cleansing rituals. Yes.
Oh, are they performed down at the House of Cleansing? Do they perform the cleansing rituals?
How do you know of that place?
Oh, that was the teleportation circle we had.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to go to such a place of ill repute. I
Is
shall
that what it was? I thought they were being really friendly.
Ah, yes, that is a place where one can go to have many of their desires explored. It's not a place suitable for such heroes.
We left immediately. It was just, the teleportation circle we had at hand.
Of
Not-
course.
Not even slightly tempted.
I'm sure the magnate
That's
will
not what I
arrange for you to have the sigil inside the magnate's temple currently closed off. I'm sure they will reopen for you. Yes.
Thank you. Okie doke.
So, as he leans upwards, there's a sort of a set of like doors that's quite tall, but they arch at the top. There's like gold inlays in the patterns, and a large singular brass knob in the middle of it. And as this guy pushes it forwards, the knob comes apart and the doors open. Like that. You find 4 people inside. One of them is a dragonborn, a gold dragonborn with a purple-like coat, beard, but massively bushy eyebrows. Certainly carries himself with a bit of a presence. The other one is there's a human there with like long black hair. He's got a head circlet around there, like auburn brown skin. He's got like a yellow kind of outfit, like almost like a bumblebee, but with like patterns instead of stripes. And there is an elf as well, also with like sunburnt skin. She's got a pretty white dress that's very open in the middle. She's got like a long neck with like golden kind of like collar around herself, as well as like bracelets that go around her. There's like long black hair that go like parted in the middle, go down to her sides and stuff. All 3 of these people have got their feet dipped in a small little pool of warm, soapy water in the middle of the room, where it's like a circular little pool where they're sitting down at the side and having their feet dipped in the pool. The 4th person appears to be, but he's massive. I'm talking huge. He's got raging 6-pack. And on closer inspection, like, say that this guy's physique, his biology clearly isn't human. He is a Goliath. He's got long flowing brown hair that sort of wisped off to the side. He's got really like impressively dangerous looking weapons with at his side. He's got kind of like a wolf skin pelt on his back, and it's just his front is just like completely exposed, but it shows off all his muscles and all his glory. The one who brought you in here says, Magnate, please welcome Guardians of the Forgotten. Dragonborn looks over to you all and says, Welcome, please. Come. Put your feet in the pool and let us talk. I am Magnate Nixual Sandscale, and these are the leaders of Shanty Shield and West Town, Montclair and Vinola.
Pleased to meet you. Thank you very much. I am Rennas, the Taunter of Fate.
Yes.
I guess I'll look kind of awkward and then try and find a seat next to them.
There's no seat. There's only
Oh.
the pool in the middle.
Okay. Well, I'll start taking my shoes off.
Please do not worry about the gentleman behind me. It's simply my bodyguard. This is Left. Say hello, Left.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Doesn't respond. So,
Wow.
please. So, obviously we know who you are. You don't know who we are. I am the Magnate. I am the leader of the frontier, and we are the chosen representatives of council of the frontier. As good as that is, you may notice that this city is not in best of shapes.
I understand you have had some troubled times, and it is only it is understandable that not everything is in pristine condition. But hopefully we can help sort this out and maybe get supplies up here and have a much stronger relationship between our two people.
Of course, yes, that we would greatly desire as such. What you stand for is what my people want: an end to the royal family, freedom from tyranny.
Well, as you've heard, we came here specifically for a related matter.
And that is exactly what we had hoped to do. We would love to help, but
Well,
we not.
any guidance or assistance you could offer would be welcome.
As soon as Tokyo declared rebellion, I knew immediately that my people would want to join them. The problem is that the frontier of the city and beyond, had dry for many years. Our aid has now been completely cut off by King Toriel. An edict arrived shortly after that vision from you, declaring that the capital needed the precious resources to maintain its stability in light of the unjust and treasonous rebellion, and that so long as the frontier stood down, then the relief aid would return. We need this aid. We are being strangled without it. We just do not have the people to maintain our infrastructure. We have only been able to slowly rebuild, but unfortunately, for every progress we make, there is a group in the city that tears it back down, and we remain in limbo. King Dumar was good for that. He tried to invest, he tried to revitalize us, but his death and Toriel, we are a shell of what we could be. We hope to hope to be as glorious as we were before Arganeth.
I hope we can help you towards that goal. we certainly aim to make things better for you while we're here.
Absolutely, anything we
Well.
can do to help you.
I would be very happy to send any available forces I have to your aid in this rebellion, with the promise that whoever ruled Windward at the end would send the frontier the much needed aid and a continuation of Dumas' restoration efforts.
Absolutely.
That's it.
We can set up a much better trade infrastructure, and we can get this. We can really revitalize this place and get it back to how it's former glory.
That is music to my ears. Yes, our people desperately need this. As it stands, though, the frontier cannot join, because we are already stretched too thin just to maintain order in the city and the outlands. If I were to recall forces, the deserts would be lost to bandits and monsters and other such creatures, and the few remaining villages out there would starve to death. And the issues in the city are their sheer number of cults that worship demons. Plenty have made them mark here in the war. The cults, they fight themselves as much as they do our people. The local vigilante gangs do not make things better.
Well, I'm not sure we can help with all that, but it does seem that like there's a lot of unrest and that you could benefit from some extra hands.
Is there one cult in particular that is larger than the others, that is causing more trouble than the others?
Oh, they all make their own equal mark. But here's the thing. The cultists all share one thing that unifies them as a collective. They all have a mad dash, a race to discover and become the most powerful cult. Key to this is the lost summoning pit, the one that plagued the frontier and the Rangers throughout the entirety of the war. Several armies, including those led by Dumar and Melchiah, were unable to find this pit. Many people have tried and failed, utilizing all manners of magics and knowledge. Not be done. If one cult could find this pit, they would use it to make more demons and bring all the other cults to their side, and that would most certainly lead to our own civil war.
But if this pit was found and destroyed?
Exactly. Found it before them. Destroy it and produce evidence that would shake the foundations of many of the cults to the point where they would either disband, leave the city, or commit mass suicide. Either way, I don't care. The cults are subdued and peace brought back to the Red Rocks, which is the layer underneath this layer. Then I can make agreements with the largest vigilante groups to help maintain order in the frontier, meaning that I can take a large portion of the Oasis spears and join your rebellion. And it's not just soldiers. I can promise you full use of our arsenal of wyvern riders, our scorpions, and our beasts of war, our elephants.
Certainly sounds like your assistance would be most
And Lefty?
beneficial. Sorry, Verity?
I was saying, and Lefty as well.
What left here? Yes. So does I.
Yeah.
No. More Claire. My, the leader of, Shanty Shield. He had an acquaintance with a few screws loosed who claimed to have evidence on how to find the pit. But, oh Claire, Yeah. The courts got to him before the Oasis Spears did. We sent out patrol into the ruined taints to locate my acquaintance, but they never returned. That was 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry, who supposedly knows how to find the spawning pit?
My acquaintance, a tiefling, goes by the name of Conspiracy. He has a few. He believes on many outlandish tales, but apparently found some solid evidence on how to locate the pit. But we couldn't get to him. The cults got him first.
Do you know what the cults did? Have they taken him down underneath the city, or?
But we do not know. His last known location was the ruined taints. I would, if you can find this person, then that would set you on the path to finding this pit.
We did seek out some help locating this pit before we left from a very wise divinator that we know. He suggested there might be some link to the General Slitter. I believe he was in this location during the war.
Yes. Slitter. Oh. Bad times. Slitter was buried here in the temple when he was defeated. But, unfortunately, remains were stolen many years ago. I don't know where he is now.
Okay. That's unfortunate. It seemed like we will need to find this body to have any sort of hope of finding these pits. So in that case, I guess Conspiracy is our best hope and our best lead, and maybe they found the body.
Won't the thing be where he was buried and not on the body?
Potentially.
What thing?
The fork?
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
think it's
know.
a literal fork, but there might be some item that, like, would we be able to see the location where the body was?
Of course, it is actually just up them stairs. This was one of the first areas that was cleansed after the war. His throne, so to say, and where he was killed is up that past them doors there. Points up the stairs, just on the opposite, on the opposite side of the room where you came in. There's like a set of stairs that go up into like a larger set of doors that are slightly ajar, and you can see there's like a room beyond there, but you can't exactly tell what's in there. That is where he was buried and sealed. Of course, he was lost several years ago. Cult broke in and stole the remains, actually.
Bloody cults.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think we'd like to head up and just check out the area first, if that's okay.
Of course. Lift.
Hmm.
Can I ask you to accompany them? Lift would be a useful companion for you. He knows the streets and the guards, and also which areas to avoid.
Any assistance would be great, would be appreciated.
Is that an order, boss?
Yes. Please help them discover what they need to discover.
You got it, boss.
Report back to me, when you have found this conspiracy and determined whether or not he was telling the truth about the evidence.
We'll check if there's a conspiracy behind conspiracy.
Yes. Well then, is there anything else I can do, for yourselves?
I think the sooner we start looking, the sooner we can hopefully rid this place of these pits.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a limited time scale, unfortunately, so the
Of course,
faster we
of
can
course.
get going, the better.
You have free reign of the temple. None of my people will stop you, especially with left accompanying you. If I, if you need either Montclair or Fiona for anything, they will be returning to their respective towns at the end of today. But I will remain here in the temple to help should you need me.
I'll
Thank you
just be
very much.
staring up at left, kind of impressed, just like, don't know. He seems fun.
He seems chatty.
Well then,
Just like the swordsman I want to be, you know. Don't know. I assume he's got a sword.
he's got several.
Ooh.
I'm just reading the War on Argoneth. It was our grandparents that fought at Slither, wasn't it?
Yes, it was your grandparents who fought and killed Slitter in the room just ahead of you.
Okay, that's fine.
They could have stolen the magical spawning pit thing then. God, useless grandparents. But yeah, heading up the stairs into the room.
Okay. Alright, so you head up the stairs into the room, leaving Nick Shaw, Fiona, and Montclair behind, and left in tow. As you get into this room, you can see that every effort has been made to make this room very clean, but it carries clear scars in the structure itself, where a clear, massive battle happened here, and they've done their best to restore it, but some scars just never fade. Scorch marks, slashes in some of the pillars in this room. At the very back, there is something akin to a seat or a throne. The plinth that the throne lies on would house a much larger chair. However, that chair no longer exists, and instead there is just a regular dragonborn sized chair where the magnate clearly sits from.
Was Slitter known to be a little bit bigger, was he?
Slitter was he was bigger than your average demon, shall we say.
Yeah.
He was not gargantuan, but he was certainly quite big.
Roger.
Yeah, of course you can, Verity. So Verity starts sitting down to begin ritual casting Detect Magic.
And I'll do it the old-fashioned way, focusing on the plinth that it's on. Is there anything?
Oh, and something happens. Let's have a little look-see and see what happens.
At least it's not
We all turn
fucking
to potted
Garistro.
plants.
Where is it? Wild Magic Surge list. Number 65. So, as she finishes... as she finishes casting this, Verity immediately starts sprouting lightning in her body. And then all of a sudden, it blasts out from her body. Choose 3 creatures, please, Verity. The options are Rennas, Russ, Arrabella, Otti, and left. Left, right. Okay, so left, Rennas, and Otti. and Verity, you take 22 points of lightning damage.
Oh, I thought I'd get a chance to dodge it. Fucking hell.
Parts of the lightning even strike past your body and strike into the walls and into in the ground themselves, creating more like pot marks and more battle scars in this already weakened room.
I'll look
Never a dull
over.
moment.
I'll look over at left. I'll be like, "Sorry, you'll get used to this. She's a bit shit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Unpredictable.
No. I was what's the
Chaos
word?
Goblin.
Like a chemical that reacts with stuff a lot.
I believe the term
Volatile.
you're looking for is volatile.
Yep, that's the one. That's her.
Is this something I need to speak to the magnate about?
No, I would not. It's part of her charm, and it's also the same magic that causes her to have these little outbursts. It's the same magic that saves her asses on many other occasions. It's just part of the deal.
Then might I ask you keep it under control, at least within city walls?
Not entirely
We'll-
sure you understand how chaos works. You can't really keep it under control.
Verity, will you keep your spell casting to a minimum if we can, for now?
Sure. If Left doesn't want me to cast any magic, I won't.
Oh God, I can sense the sarcasm.
No, miss, you're construing my words. I am simply requesting that you keep it under control.
There isn't keeping it under control. I can make more happen, but I can't make less.
You ever gambled before? Because it's kind of like that.
No,
So,
I
I'm not being sarcastic. I will not cast any more magic. Don't worry.
I'm very fiscally responsible, thank you for asking.
Me too.
I'm sorry, I wasn't suggesting. I just mean, that like you want a number, you gotta roll the dice. Literally.
I'm gonna
Left,
cast.
You've heard the rumours of the Guardians of the Forgotten. Know them more by their famous names than their actual names. The blue one is known as the Weavebreaker, and starting to understand why they call her that.
Because she breaks the weave. Complicated, I know.
Otherwise, please do continue your investigations.
Thank you. Just like rubbing a burn mark on my shoulder.
Do I sense any magic to do with like conjuration of any kind?
Okay.
Yeah, someone just punched a whole bunch of lightning bolts and shot them up our ass.
Let me just read the specifics of detect magic.
I believe I can detect the type, but
Yes, you sense magic in this way.
is it detect magic I'm wanting? Yeah.
It would be, yeah. Okay. So you basically, once it's completed, you start walking around the room because the room itself is quite large, so it takes you like a minute to sort of do a lap around the entire room. The room itself, so you get kind of a mixed sense of detect magic from this room. The majority that you sense is a divine-like magic, a purifying kind of magic that cleanses the room. But hidden underneath that, there is a slight, faint sense of taint, demonic taint, necrotic power. And you get the feeling that the divine is very much trying to suppress the taint.
It feels like
That
it's
is
very
the-
much the kind of thing Korgrin would be into here.
That's the general vibe that you get from the room. As for specific individual parts of the room, you don't really get a ping in that regard.
No magic stuff.
Everywhere. Well, I guess that was too good to be true. Is this where the body was actually laid to rest, or just where it was killed?
Both.
It's like, fuck that. I think that thing's too big. We'll just bury it here. That kind of attitude.
It was more of a case of they, like you can see in the side of the room, near the wall, there is a makeshift box that is clearly different from the surrounding wall. Like, it looks like they built something out and created like a little shed kind of area, but out of stone. It's quite thick from what you can tell. But however, there is a definitive hole that has been blasted into, allowing something quite large to get out. And you're reminiscent of the fact that you've been told that the cults stole this body many years ago, and the means of how they did it clearly shown before you.
Roger.
What would you guys like to do from here?
No one else has got any ideas up here. We could just set off and try and find this conspiracy.
Might I make a recommendation?
You might.
I would certainly suggest we visit the last known location of the tiefling individual known as Conspiracy.
It did sound
the taint.
like it might be urgent, so I don't see why not.
Very good.
You lead the way.
After me.
Yeah.
So, leading the way now, you head down from the Magnet's Temple, out into the outlying areas where the obelisks lie. Various patrols of the Oasis Spears. They give you guys a wide berth, especially with Left leading the way. Like, there's a sense of fear and respect that's granted towards the right hand of the magnate. However, Left, you begin leading their way as short as you can across the bridge to the south of the Magnet's Temple, that goes across the natural oasis that is inside the frontier, where there is a direct sort of channel that leads into the Magnet's Temple itself, and that's how you guys realised how they were able to do the waterfalls and the runways on the inside of the building, because they have a direct waterway that flows to and fro into the nearby oasis. Following that path, you can see a larger temple in the middle of the lake, connected by two bridges. Left, you know that is Memorial Islands. That is where the largest set of graves and remembrance stones has been set up. It's basically just an entire island dedicated to those who were lost in the war 30 years ago.
Pay our respects there when we've got time.
Yes. Keep on making your way. As you keep on making your way onwards, eventually get to basically like a checkpoint kind of area. There have been set in like at least a dozen guards or so, Oasis Spears that have been set up, and you can see just beyond them there is a set of ruined buildings, archways, pillars, obelisks that are in various displays of disrepair. There are houses and such with roofs caved in or walls that have been just sort of torn apart. And as you guys approach the one who is sort of commanding this checkpoint just sort of puts up in his head, says this: "Halt! The area is off limits. There's no. My apologies. I did not see who you are immediately. You have business in the ruined taints today."
But how did you miss him? He's like 8 feet tall.
Do not ask. It is simply something that occasionally happens. Yes, we will be visiting the ruins. Please step aside.
Of course. I might warn you, the undead have been a bit uppity in there recently.
Thank God we've got a cleric.
The cult of the Black Suns as well are on the move. They're the demon worshippers that worship Slitter. They've been making some plays recently, so I'd watch out for them as well.
What was the name again? Sorry.
Cult of the Black Suns.
Sons as in child.
Sounds like we could do with capturing one or two of them. If they worship Slitter, they seem top prospects for the people that stole him.
So your name is literally Left Armstrong.
Yeah, he's obviously not a Verity.
Oh, wanking joke.
Oh my god.
Well, maybe he's just right arm strong too. I don't know.
I hope not. I hope when we finally get into combat, he can only swing things with his left hand, and his right arm is just like some weak, wheelie thing.
But left, they are literally discussing all of this while you're within earshot.
I did not choose my name. I was given a name, as I'm sure all of you were. That does not seem like an appropriate topic of conversation right now, but I would have you know that I am right-handed.
So you're right arm strong as well. Good.
I'm right-handed as well.
Me too!
Yay!
Thrilling point of conversation. Shall we proceed?
Certainly.
You're gonna have to like take a chill pill, mate. Take a chill pill and just like walk past him.
I will bear that in mind.
Yeah, if 80 tells you to take a chill pill, that's when it's... No, wait, that doesn't make sense.
We're gonna go with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All is good. Has anyone just tried like calling for him? Conspiracy! Conspiracy!
Voice echoes in the ruined taints. Conspiracy! 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 Left, you know that's a real bad idea. Nothing attracts ghosts more than noise.
Congratulations, you have brought a solid 100-foot radius to our attention.
Thank you.
I'm sure you guys will be fine.
That was not actual congratulations, that was sarcasm.
I do apologise. You should make it clear. Your sarcastic voice sounds a lot like your normal voice.
I completely disagree. But moving on, before we are ambushed by the living dead.
Okie doke.
Take a look around and see what it's about.
A swarm of angry ghosts.
Do I know where Conspiracy's last location was?
The ruined taint itself.
Just the area.
Yeah.
Well, this is the place, so we will need to start our investigation at least somewhere. May as well start
Should we
it here.
fan out and see what we can find?
I would not recommend that, as there is a heavy undead presence in this area.
I mean, I meant fan out like 20 meters across all of us, not like, you go on the other side of the hill out of sight.
Understood.
Kind of like a line. Yeah, you were like when you've been camping and you have to do like the sweep afterwards to make sure you haven't left any litter there. You make a big line. We'll do that.
All right. Can I roll a perception or investigation check, Jack?
Yes, of course you can. Go ahead and make a. This will be a perception check as you are looking around the area. 20, not bad. Okay. So with that perception, as you spend a few minutes sort of searching the area, you can tell that the immediate vicinity you've been in, like you're not too far away from where you left the guards. Nobody's really come by here recently. You catch a glimpse of a spectral being, pearlescent and blue, floating probably about 120 feet away from you, above an obelisk, and it just seems to be staring at the setting sun.
Left will kind of just acknowledge it and silently point towards it.
I also acknowledge it and will not attack it.
Just a general knowledge question. General knowledge. Do spectral figures, things like ghosts and things like that, mainly come out at night, or do they come out at day as well? If we got one like in the day,
they tend to be. Make either a religion or an arcana check, your choice.
I think I'm gonna be shit at both of these. So maybe arcana. 22.
Okay, so the magic that revolves around ghosts and lingering spirits is a topic of heavy scrutiny. But there has been evidence to suggest that ghosts and undead are more active at night, but there's also a lot of evidence to suggest it's just down to the individual undead itself.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a spectre versus ghost thing. It's more of a who it is has died.
Or who it was, yeah.
Okay.
Not all ghosts attack on sight. It really depends on the type of ghost. Some ghosts are just angry and wish to take their anger out on the living, and then other ghosts are just woesome and seek companionship, and other ghosts just want to be left alone.
Ghosts are people too.
A profound thought.
Literally not.
So, your initial perception left has obviously found that ghost lingering not too far away from you, but you've noticed that the immediate area that you're in doesn't hold any insight to your investigations. You can choose to head further towards the center, or you can make your way a little bit more westwards or eastwards. Your choice.
Is there any chance the ghost will actually talk to us?
That's up
If
to you.
ghosts are people too?
It's up to you.
I was more asking left if he knows the area better than us.
Have there been rumours about a talkative ghost?
There's always a rumor of something. Best person to speak to about that is actually conspiracy.
The current expert on ghostly matters within the ruined taint is currently the subject of our investigation.
Well, I mean, we can either head further in and explore blindly, or we can head over there and ask the ghost if they see anything. What's the worst case?
Understood. Left starts approaching the ghost.
Okay.
Sold.
So it's about 60 feet above you, atop that obelisk. It hasn't noticed you. It still just seems to be transfixed by the setting sun.
Cooey! Mr. Ghost!
Does not respond.
Excuse me, sir and or ma'am, my companions have questions for you.
Does not respond.
It does not respond. It does not wish to speak.
It hasn't even acknowledged you being there. It might just not be aware that you're there.
Does the obelisk look climbable?
To you, yes.
I would like to climb the obelisk.
No worries. You have the gloves, right?
No, I am not equipped with the gloves anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and make an acrobatics check, please.
Do you require a boost?
A boost would be very much appreciated. I'm assuming that's like half the obelisk gone if he gives me a boost.
Roll that advantage because he's helping.
I would very grateful of that advantage. 28.
Okay. Takes you a couple of tries to get a proper footing onto it. But once you do, you are able to climb your way, all Assassin's Creed style, towards the top. And as you get within 10 feet of the ghost, it finally notices your presence. As its head turns around, it was clearly a male in life. Short hair, the face itself looks bloodied and terrified. But his eyes are non-existent.
Excuse me,
Just
sir.
a black void.
Would you be able to talk to me and my companions? Perhaps help us out?
Not attacking, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Wait, well, when I say he doesn't say anything of noticeable communication.
Do you understand me? Can you nod?
The head does bob up and down.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So a tiefling was taken from here. How long ago was it? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
About 2 weeks ago. Did you happen to see anything?
He
He
raises an
The
arm.
ghost with no eyes.
I mean, he's looking at the sunset.
Yeah, he was looking at the sunset. I mean, what could the ghost eyes do? Who knows?
He raises his arm and points it in the direction of about, probably I'd say the northeast of you. And you just hear the word, or it's say, Sarah.
Sarah? Is that what he said, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. I will. Thank you very much, sir. Your help has been mostly appreciated. And I will climb down the obelisk. Left. Do you know a Sarah?
Do I know a Sarah?
That's like the ghost didn't speak much, but I asked if they saw a tiefling be taken 2 weeks ago. They pointed over there, and I pointed the direction they pointed and said Sarah or Sarah. So I don't really know what that means, but I'm guessing we should head over there and have a look.
That certainly seems pertinent to our investigation, so let us proceed.
Follow the ghost.
Alright. So you head off in the direction that the ghost pointed out.
I do indeed.
Make your way through the ruined arches. You have to double check where you're stepping, because sometimes the stone that you step on gives way and drops down into almost, if you didn't know there's an infinite darkness, but most likely it'd be falling down into the layer beneath Magnet's garden. Don't know how much far of a drop that is, but probably significant.
Okay, don't want to fall down there.
As you continue to make your way onwards, can I get a group perception check, please?
I think we see it.
You do see two individuals, cloaked, hooded. Can't really see their defining features very well, but they are huddled underneath a ruined arch in the distance. They have not noticed your presence. They are speaking in hushed tones.
Ooh, can I sneak a little bit closer and hear what they're whispering about?
Make a stealth roll.
Are they wearing any sigils or anything like that that would give them away as one of the cults or just a group?
Make a perception check followed by a religion check, please, to see if you can see it and then if you can recognize it. Right. You do see them carrying sigils, but you don't know what they are.
I will point the sigils out quietly to left.
Rennas, you are able to sneak up undetected.
Am I aware of what the sigils are?
Pointing them out, it looks like they are two individual sigils. The guy on the right holds the sigil of a maddened claw with a stake pointed through it. This would be the sigil for the demon known as Kartik. The one on the left holds a sigil for a burned hand. You do not recognize which demon that comes from. Probably a minor demon commander in that fell in the city at some point.
Left will relay that back to the orc in a surprisingly quiet voice.
Is it a bad thing that two different sigils are together like that?
Left nods.
Okay.
So, Rennas, what would
Yeah.
you like to do as what kind of your stealth?
Just trying to hear what they are whispering about.
Okay, how close do you want to get?
I will
So
keep.
they're currently underneath a ruined archway. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I'd get maybe to like another, like round the corner of the archway or something, also behind it, so the archway's between me and them,
Right.
and get as close as I can that way.
Okay, no worries. So, as you do so, you can overhear certain aspects of what they're saying. To get a full grasp of what they are saying, can you make a perception check, please? Okay. Don't hear everything. Clearly hear the words Black General, Teeth. Sorry, not the teeth thing. Black General, the Ritual, and Ulysses.
Ooh, interesting.
Was
That
that a
is
name?
Yes.
Was it? Oh. Fair. I was going to go with that.
Okay. Is anyone else planning on doing something before I ruin everything?
We're kind of waiting for to see what you do because you're the one listening to this conversation. We're back and prepared to follow your lead.
Yeah, I mean, I can sneak back and tell you the things, the few things I've heard. They are mentioned the Black General, some sort of like ritual, and some guy called Ulysses. Ulysses. No idea.
Does that name ring any bells?
No. Ulysses is a common enough name in these parts.
Fair. Left will sign language back. That it's of no importance. It doesn't strike any bells.
I mean, my preferred option right now is just to stroll up to them and ask which one of them is Sarah. Which is probably neither of them, but it's still a good conversation opener, I feel.
Okay. Left will approach.
Okay. So as you start making your way towards these cultists,
Mhm.
they immediately stop their conversation and look towards you. You tower over them by about a foot or so. And they have those kind of like almost mousy like faces or so. And one of them just says, which demon do you worship?
Nobody, we're just looking for Sarah.
No, you are not there. I said I approach. Who do I know off the top of my head?
Slitter.
And he's the Black General, correct?
Yeah.
The Black General, of course.
Ah! He's getting all the followers recently. And the other one goes, yeah, it's not fair. What about the rest of us?
He is popular for a reason, because he is powerful, and he will tower over this world once more.
Yeah, well, Kartik, he held Borod against the initial invasions, right? So he is just as good as Slitter ever was, all right, and even better because Slitter, right, he couldn't beat one single army, but Kartik, he beat several before he was taken down. The other one just goes, hey, what about Mousers? Yeah, Mousers was not very well known, but you know, he did a lot of stuff, and he's all. He kind of dejects himself as like that look of like the fuck.
True, but the Black General is one of the best known, and that is why he is immensely popular. And that is why I have brought forth recruits to join us today.
Where?
Left gestures back at the position that everyone else is at.
So most of the, I imagine everybody's basically sort of taking cover behind like ruined walls and some pillars at the moment, so they didn't get initially noticed. Do you guys step out?
Oh, can I creep out?
Yeah, I'll step out. Wave.
Oh, that looks. They look familiar.
They are not familiar. You do not recognize them. They're very new to the city.
These are not the
Oh,
droids
okay.
you're looking for.
All right. Well. So what? You going to sign them up with the Black Suns then?
Correct.
The blue one for Kartik? I take the orc. We ain't got an orc yet.
I will ask them their preferences when we reconvene. After
What do you say about the blue one?
He said, can like join the Kartik cult basically.
Okay.
Please don't give Verity any options about joining cults.
While I'm here, could I have surveyed what's actually in the fucking area that these two are guarding?
But it's just they're not guarding it. They just seem to be conversing out in the open, really. The immediate area is no different from any of the other areas you've really seen. There's just more ruined archways in this particular area. The stone part or stone lacquered path splits off into several directions here. Most of the buildings are ruined and toppled, really.
Left will gesture the group over and ask, I've been out of town for some days, and it is to my knowledge that a tiefling was recently acquired. Is that right?
No idea. No, I haven't heard nothing about that.
What about the bones of the great Islitter himself?
He looks at you with like sort of an air of distrust now. And he says, why did something happen?
I've certainly heard rumours that they have been and left and right. Found missing.
We didn't have anything to do with it, if that's what you're suggesting.
I'm not suggesting anything.
Who do you reckon took them then?
Who do I reckon took them? Do I have any idea? I would have assumed it would have been those of the Black Suns, no?
They look at each other for a moment. Yeah. Good luck with that, mate. Come on, let's go. And they immediately start walking away from you.
Left grabs one, drives his greatsword through his back.
That's the one that was worshipped Kartik. He immediately drops down to the one who says, he starts running for it.
Rennas gives chase.
You're easily able to catch up to him. You're a lot quicker than him. He like hops over a wall. He's sort of in, like going in and out of some pillars. You're able to get like within 5 feet of him. What do you do?
I'd like to tackle him and bring him to the ground.
Make an athletics check, please.
Yeah. So my plan falls down a bit.
As long as it's anything but a 1.
You rugby tackle him down to the ground. He goes face first into the stone path. He slides across it. You can feel maybe a bit of his nose, a bit of his lip is left behind him. He's like really bloody in the face.
Now, we were having a nice little chat. Now let's go back and we can all continue our nice little chat, can't we?
Mouses, save my soul.
Does he seem to be going like that? Seems like the sort of words before suicide. Does he seem to be moving?
No. He's just sort of
okay.
He's like praying for help, basically.
Yep. I hope that praying goes well for you, and I'll just kind of like grab him by the back of the neck and drag him over to the others.
So you can see Rennas return less than a minute later, with the cultists that ran away being dragged back, and that he's like his hood is being like fall down now. You can see he's got a shaved head. Actually recognize him. He was one of the shop owners that you briefly conversed with on the way to the Magnate's Temple earlier today, just to see if he had any magical items.
See, he should have sold us some magical items, and then he wouldn't be in this mess.
I thought I recognized you. Let go.
I will throw him into the middle of all of us and let go. Now, about the tiefling that went missing 2 weeks ago.
I don't know anything about the tiefling.
How many fingers do I have to cut off before you tell me the truth and I withdraw my body?
It was the bones. I was asking about the bones. You guys took the bones. Why could you
Bones.
take it from yourself?
Can I incite what he's saying about?
Does he mean the Black Suns when he says you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what gave it away. Left. Don't ask about the group that you're claiming to be with.
Please do not lecture me on how to infiltrate a cult.
Well, please infiltrate a cult more effectively next time.
All right, you two.
Yeah. Can I go?
No. If you didn't take the tiefling, you must know something about it. Don't believe the tiefling goes missing around here and you just happen to be standing in the exact location he went missing.
I don't know anything about a tiefling. I was just conversing with my friends. Yeah, sure, maybe he worshipped the wrong demon, but I grew up with him, so I wasn't necessarily going to kill him on sight, was I?
I'd like to grab his hand, spread out his fingers, and just place a dagger over one of them. Sure you don't know anything?
Make an intimidation check. So he starts like sweating bricks, and his eyes are completely wide open, and he starts like almost frothing mouth. He says, "I really don't know anything about it, tiefling. I really don't.
Can I incite him?
Yeah.
He definitely knows
Really
something
does.
about this fucking tiefling, doesn't he?
Please, before he dies of shock, or a panic attack, or blood loss, whichever occurs first, do you know any of the following? The name Sarah, does it ring a bell?
No.
Do you know the location of the Black Suns?
Well, they're all over the place. They move from place to place, but they were bragging recently about commencing a ritual to find the lost pit.
Left briefly glances at the party, and the name Ulysses.
That's the guy who leads them.
Do you have any other information to offer?
I have money.
Good for you.
Where does your cult group organization center meet
Well,
up?
there's only 10 of us, and we're down in the Red Rocks. I'm really the only one who comes up into the Magnate's Garden.
Splendid. Does anyone else have any questions for your name?
Brian.
Brian.
Brian the cultist.
I guess it would make sense to ask if you've not seen who's responsible for taking the tiefling. You maybe have seen other suspicious dealings in this area, say a couple of weeks ago. Anything like that? Any people, places they shouldn't be? Any? Well,
Yeah. I'll tell you when you let me go.
Yes, of course.
Certainly.
Is that a lie, or is that a truth?
That was definitely a lie.
Alright, make a deception check. As you say that, Rennas and there's left says it as well. Like the guy immediately looks at you, left, and is just like,
To be fair,
I am simply the guide. I would take his word over mine.
we need to give the guy some incentive.
I've got to
Yes, we
say,
can
like,
go.
to be fair, if there's only a small number of them, he's going to be missed if we kill him. So I'm tempted to kind of let him go. I'm saying this very, very loudly.
I want to try and persuade him that we're gonna let him go, and from me, it's gonna be genuine. Am I rolling? Or...
No. You make the case to your party, and then they decide.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not out to kill him. I'm just not ruling out killing him because he's asked us nicely.
If it is your wish to release the prisoner, then so be it.
Do we want a cult of 10 coming to get us?
Be a cult of 9 after him.
I have a question. Who are the Black Sun's biggest threat among the other cults at the moment?
It changes on a weekly basis. There's always a drive for more followers, more recruits. The Oasis Spears, they whittle down numbers, but sometimes they infiltrate. I guess their biggest threat would probably be the followers of Kartik, and there's also the Argian, the Arganethan People's Front, and the People's Front of Arganeth, and the Popular Arganeth Front.
Okay. And just a quick question. Who is it that you look up to again?
Mouses. It was a demon that he was really good. He would torture people by shoving live rats and mouses down their orifices, and they would be eaten out from the inside. And that was a warning.
Your question, Ron?
Well, it was about. He said that he saw suspicious activity a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
Yes.
And this was like, so this was the part where he was like kind of broke down, and it was like he wanted to be let go in exchange for it, but he does somewhat believe Rennas despite Left's natural one, and he says,
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago there was a fight. Yeah, big fight. About a battalion of Oasis Spears came in here. They got into a tussle with one of the cults. Attracted the ghosts. I don't think anyone got away. Bodies were taken though.
So the bodies were taken.
Yeah, they. When I say they were taken, I mean they got up and walked away.
Okay, that sounds like some raising dead. What a time to lose our cleric, eh? Am I right? But yeah.
Maybe the cleric. Who knows?
So Brian, has this master done anything for you personally?
Well, I've always been a bit of a social outcast. And I had a pet rat growing up, and when the rat died, I felt really sad. And then I met my leader, by the name of Marcus, and he told me about Mouses, the demon, and what he did. And I thought, well, that sounds like a really good guy. And then if we bring him back, if we were able to get enough people and bring Mouses back, he promised us the power to control all rats and mice.
You see, think you might be being tricked, my friend. Because I know someone, and well, they let me do all sorts of magical things already, and I haven't had to skin anyone. I mean, I can summon this owl, and I bring Toby into existence. See, you could do that with
Get that thing away from me, the natural enemy of mice and rats.
I click him away. But you see, you could have a rat one.
Rat one of
All you'd have to do is get in touch with Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll help you out.
Steve?
Are you promoting starting a brand new cult within the perfectly good city of the frontier.
He's a healing one.
And the city is hardly going to know just one more cult, are they?
A healing demon? I've never heard of that.
Well, you see, he's a terrifying creature with 4 hooves and a horn on his head. Very
Oh.
impressive.
Make a deception check.
I'm telling the truth.
I know, but the way you're trying to tell him is clearly a deception.
Oh.
Well,
I'm going to use my luck
versus
to
his,
reroll that.
Okay.
Oh. This could go either
That's
way.
a Rennas level of rolling there.
Ugh.
But luckily so is that.
It's not working for you today, Jack, is it?
He looks genuinely interested, and he says,
Oh. Okay. So.
I mean, because I was
he
an
sounds
outcast
pretty
too.
impressive.
And I was an outcast too, and he genuinely looks after me. Like, I'm blue for fuck's sake. And now I have friends because I have Steve.
Pretty sure you met us before, Steve.
Shut up.
Steve
Brian?
more powerful than Mouses.
I think he is. For one, he doesn't need to be brought back. He's already here.
Oh. I'd love to meet him.
But he can bring you back from the brink of death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He brought this one back
what
to
a-
life.
what a powerful demon.
Brian, any chance that if you don't tell your fellow worshippers about us in this meeting, that maybe we can come back afterwards and tell you more about Steve?
Make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, okay.
Then we're on. I'm sure Steve looks forward to meeting you.
Oh, I know he does. He loves
I look forward
people like
to.
you. He loves people like you, Brian, because he likes practical jokers. And I can tell you have like a very cheeky spirit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to throw cheese at people.
Yep. Totally his type of humor. He'll love you.
Oh.
Don't go
Well,
taking his favorite position
well,
because
fuck Mouses then.
I'm going to be his
Fuck
favorite now.
Mouses. Let me join the cult of Steve.
You are free to join as you wish. Go and search for Steve.
I shall. Steve! Hey!
He starts walking away, calling it out.
You're welcome.
Hey!
Imagine giving Steve credit for us meeting. We were already friends. How dare you?
Hey, I just saved that dude from a life of servitude to a cult of mice.
I mean, technically, you've saved him from death. He probably wouldn't have left you alive.
No, we are exterminating all cultists that we find.
And,
He's no longer a cultist.
No, he is a cultist of a different cult. Congratulations.
We need to be careful that we don't start killing all the cultists we find, because then they're just gonna gang up on us and then take us out. So we need to, at the moment we need to be careful. But I do agree that the cultists need dealing with at some point.
There is enough
Don't you
intercult.
believe in rehabilitation? Damn it.
No, there is enough intercult violence that any violence committed against a cultist member is assumed to either be the Oasis Spears or a rival cult. I assure you, their deaths will not be missed.
Sounds like a rogue's dream.
Hey!
He
Well,
will
I
likely
believe in
die.
rehabilitation. You butt face.
I don't quite know who you were calling a butt face then, but it was either the guy who just walked off, left, or myself.
It was left. He just wants to kill everyone. I want to try and rehabilitate.
I disagree. I value life immensely. However, I feel like that once it has been lost to the dark taint of the demons, it is no longer redeemable and should thus be snuffed from this world.
So not all life is equal then to you, huh?
Any chance we could maybe hide this guy? And I'll point at the body and move on with what we're
I
looking
just
for?
find the biggest fucking boulder I can, just put it on top of him. Or like a broken pillar or a wall, you know, it's like an accident occurred here.
As you do, you just get that splatter of blood from basically popping a balloon.
Russ probably didn't see it and is just digging a small hole with like a stick or something.
Yeah, we're thinking of like hiding the body, and like Left is just thinking accident. Fine.
Shall we proceed?
Let's.
Certainly.
So,
Also, we can use the names of the opposing cults to say we have information to get in with the Black Suns.
We can.
Where do you guys proceed from here? Do you want to head more centralized? Do you want to turn around and head south, or do you want to head to the west or the east?
Kind of carry on the direction we were going, I think.
Yeah, I think centralized is I'm guessing that's where we were working towards in my head, but I don't actually know if we were.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of stay in the middle and keep an eye out on our surroundings. And, you know, I'm not against, like, going off to one side if we see something, but kind of stay in the middle otherwise.
This is the direction we were pointed at, and like we were going towards it, so it makes sense to follow it as much as possible.
Still looking for Sarah.
So you keep on going onwards, and you travel for probably about 10 minutes or so. There is definitely a colder air here. As the sun has nearly set it, and you can see the dark blue sky with the orange twinkle starlight starting to sprinkle up from one direction. As you make your way onwards, looking out for any kind of clues or any signs of life itself, you will notice in the pillars themselves in this immediate area are various faces of varying races that seem to be carved into the stone themselves. The floor itself has dried splashes of blood spread across. And there appears to be some kind of writing scratched into small little plinth in the center of this area.
Does someone who knows more than 2 languages want to try and have a read of that?
I mean, I can see if I can try and cast comprehend.
I can read all languages.
Yes, you can. So Verity, you go up to it. It's a small little inscription that says, "The face that you desire will be your undoing."
Hey,
Well,
Left, do you desire any of these faces right now?
Is that what it says, Jack?
Sorry, what did you say?
I typed it in chat.
Yes, that's right, yes.
It's like, pick one and you get to fight it, I guess.
Do you fancy anything faces left?
I have no desires, no.
Boring.
I want to look at the faces.
Alright. So there are 10 faces. Pick a number.
Well, I don't want to choose one. Okay, 7.
Lucky numbers,
Okay.
Lemon.
So you walk up to the one. This face looks in a permanent transfixed state of shock and horror. You get the feeling that the features represent a halfling face.
Okay. But I'll be very uneasy with the whole kind of screaming thing.
The blood that's on the floor and splattered around, is it
Yeah.
newish blood or is it like I'm trying
Make
whether
a-
it's pre 2
make a
weeks,
medicine check.
2 weeks or older than that?
Make a medicine check. You have
Oh.
You
no
are
idea.
on fire tonight, my love.
There's blood on the floor.
Well, that's that.
Yeah, I mean, so is there a tiefling face anywhere?
Yes, there is.
I would like to have a look at the tiefling face.
Oh, so you head up to one and number 2. This one is in a state of anger. You see the fangs of its teeth kind of curled backwards, his eyes narrowed.
Conspiracy. Guessing the face doesn't answer me.
No.
Worth a try. Anyone else got any bright ideas?
Have I heard of anything like this before?
Make a history check. The inscription itself, not so much, but the intent of the ritual is clear. This is a ritualistic sacrifice area. And the type of sacrifice would be dependent on the person who would be sacrificed. To what ends or what reward, you don't know.
This is a common sacrificial area. Unfortunately, the only person we can sacrifice has just gone off looking for a new deity by the name of Steve. I can retrieve the other body and see if that will yield any success.
I'm honestly not sure we want to participate in this. Maybe just moving on and not paying note to any of this.
Just because we can see a sacrificial pit doesn't mean we have to sacrifice someone. You understand that's not how free will works.
I thought you were opposed to cults. Now look at you, you're just part of
I
one already.
do oppose cults, yes, but I am aware that often you need to use your enemy's weapons against them. Small one. Or blue one.
Well, would you like to retrieve our friend from under the boulder?
I wish to ask the blue one a question.
Shoot.
Can you read and see if any of these say Sarah?
Can I read and see it? Oh, you want me to use my magic?
Is that considered magic? I thought you were just reading.
It's my magic.
Can you control it?
I don't know, can I?
If you cannot control it, then do not use it.
Do any other things say Sarah?
No.
This one does.
Essentially, that means he wasn't sacrificed.
None of the pillars say Sarah, but on closer inspection with your reading abilities and the fact that you're quite an insightful person, there are actually some splatters of blood. And when you look at it from a certain angle and a certain raised sort of angle, it does spell out words or names. And one of those names is Sarah.
None of the faces say Sarah.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for your insight on this matter.
I was gonna say, I don't think my insight is. Oh, +8. Yeah, it's okay. But it could be written in the blood.
Do you wish to check if it says it in the blood?
I'm pretty sure it does.
You've been most helpful.
I'm trying not to be.
So do you think Sarah was the person that sacrificed them, and whoever was sacrificed was trying to spell out their name?
Or maybe the sacrifice needed to be written in blood to either summon someone called Sarah or the person's name. Because is there more than one name, Verity?
Is there?
Look around. Yeah, there are dozens, hundreds.
It's quite a few.
Does like every blood splatter actually spell out a name?
No, there are written in. It's written into the blood.
Right. Okay.
So, like, you have to sort of see it from a certain angle, and the light shines on it in a certain way.
It's like an eye trick. Like, you know, the paintings where they look like they move, but they don't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
As you sort of realise this, the last rays of the sun go down, and then you hear in the distance a large gong. Gong! Gong! And then the air itself immediately gets colder. And you can see an ethereal glow coming from all directions. It's in front of you, behind you, sides. You don't see anything like an actual ghost. It's just that there's an ethereal mist that seems to flower up and infest some of the buildings.
This feels safe.
I think we should kind of move away from this point and kind of take a step back.
Yeah, just like step out of the sacrificial pit and just stay nearby if things are coming over.
Yeah, but watching what's happening, I imagine that if this is a point of traditionally, you know, ghosts like points where they died and stuff, if there's lots of names here, then
it would make sense. There's lots of ghosts here.
I am so tempted right now to write Edgar's name in the blood.
What if it summons him?
That's what's stopping me.
What if it makes him immortal?
I mean, I'm game. Do it. But do it quick before the ghosts get here.
I ain't gonna do it, but I'm just letting you all know I was thinking about it.
Okay. So step back from the sacrificial pit, see what these ghosts do. Maybe it's like a ghost, like coffee morning or something. They've all just woken up. Yeah. Ghost brunch.
Verity. An arrow pierces your back, and poison spreads out into it. Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure thing.
So you make the save, so you only take half damage. So you take 11 points of piercing damage and 24 points of poison damage.
24.
24 points of poison damage. And that is halved. As Verity immediately clambers to her knees with the arrow sticking out of it, you all immediately swiftly turn around, see what looks like an armored individual sporting the sigil of the crown, pointing towards you.
A sigil of the crown?
Crown, yes.
I fucking summoned him, haven't I?
Just said his name by blood.
As he points towards you, several more roguish-like individuals burst from behind the pillars. It appears to be a group of assassins.
Well, it's going to be a group of dead assassins.
Well, we'll leave it there and we'll pick it up next week.